Live here tonight, the Daytona Super Speedway Road Course Edition. We're live from the Lugnuts Racing League. Hope everyone out there is having a great night and is staying safe out there. We had some terrible storms blowing through the Northeast region and blowing through the entire East Coast region of the United States recently. I was without power for about a day. I know people around me are still without power in my state, so hope everyone out there that's watching is staying safe, is staying, out of harm's way. But we've got some great racing for you here tonight from the newly configured Daytona road course. The real guys will get to go at this in about a week's time. They are racing next week at the Daytona road course. I don't know where I think they're in Michigan this weekend for Michigan doubleheader. So the differences between this and the old road course, really not that much. The big one, though, is that last chicane that's been added. And trying to find a driver that's coming up to that right now. I think Greg Mall, maybe. No. Judd Danielson, no. Wes Holland just crossed it. Well, we'll watch Judd Danielson. He just came out of the turn, the bus stop there. So, you remember the old road course, folks. You go through the turn 4, kind of like the sports car course. And you'll go through 3 and 4 just like normal. You'll come up to full racing speed just about. And before the start-finish line, you have a nice chicane. Slows these race cars down so you're not at full speed going into turns 1 and 2. The theory behind that, so your brakes have a chance to cool down and you're not slamming all that braking force into turn 1, trying to stop an almost 200-mile-an-hour race car going into road course number 1 here at Daytona. You see Judd locking it up just a little bit going into that first corner. So it'll be an interesting race to watch here tonight. These guys, again, getting their first shot at this road course, and I'm sure the real NASCAR guys are taking advantage of iRacing having this and are definitely probably putting in some good practice on it in preparation for the real race coming up. Right now, Kerry Cleaver ran real wide there and well off the speedway. Scott Patton looking pretty good going through road course chicane, the last chicane on the speedway. Almost want to call it a second bus stop. Northeast Motorsports Museum on that race car as always, and he is, as always, fast. He'll go to the top of the speed charts. Not surprised by that at all. Scott Patton, the dominant force in this recruitment series. Expect to see him drop that number 9 in front of his number set by the start of the winter series, folks. Right now watching Andrew Schulte. He's been an on-again, off-again driver, but he's always fast when he comes out to play with these Lugnuts drivers. Just a matter of if he'll be fast enough to come out and win with these Lugnuts guys. And hey, tonight is a good race to try that out here. He's got the upper hand in that it's pretty much a level playing field in the sense that these drivers really don't have a lot of practice coming into it. iRacing only got this config about 2 or so days ago. So at most they've had about a day or so of practice. So everyone's kind of on that same level playing field of, well, let's just see what we can bring to the table and what happens. Schulte, he'll go for 4th on the speed charts. But you'll notice the difference between these first and second drivers is about 2 seconds. Ted Wade, second on the speed charts right now. Well, let's dial up Scott Patton. If we can find Scott Patton. Of course, we can't find Scott Patton, so we won't dial up Scott Patton. Everyone seems to not be in the TeamSpeak server. So, hey, if you're a driver out there watching this, please join TeamSpeak. We'd love to talk to you pre-qualifying. Let's talk to, I don't know, Kyle Chadwick. He seemed pretty confident about his chances in this race earlier. We were talking to him earlier. Kyle Chadwick, if you got a copy on me.
I do.
Well, you seemed pretty confident in your chances at this race during practice when I was talking to you. You still have that same sentiment at the end of qualifying, or almost at the end of qualifying, I should say.
I don't know. I seen that time Scott Patton just put up, and now I think I'm racing for second.
About 2 seconds quicker than the rest of the field. That dude's fast. What's your strategy here tonight?
I don't really know. It's kind of look at it as it goes with the fuel.
Well, are you expecting to pit at least once, or what are you expecting there on the pit stop side of things?
Have to pit once. I'm debating maybe a 2-stop race. I'm not sure yet.
All right. Well, I know you say you don't know too much about the strategy, but I mean, everyone's got to have at least a slight idea. Is there anything you think you can do to potentially win this race? Maybe undercut him on pit road or something like that?
He would have to wreck very badly for me to win this race.
All right. Well, I hear that. Well, any sponsor you want to mention or anything like that?
Just thanks to BB&K Racing.
All right. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck tonight, and hope to see you at the front of the field.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to Judd Danielson. Let's get a word in with him. Judd, have you got a copy on us?
Yeah,
Well,
sure do.
you may not be the fastest driver on the track right now, but I was watching in qualifying. You look like you had a decent grasp on this racetrack. Tell us about what you think of this configuration.
Oh, grasp, yeah, grass. It's the only thing that really obviously changed for me was that little chicane that they put in there towards the end, and obviously we knew it was coming, but hadn't practiced it, guys. Been out of town and stuff, so it's just like shopped around, asked some questions, gears, braking, and it's going to be tough. It's tough for everybody, obviously. So, we'll see if we can get 30 laps out of this car without trashing it. I'll be super happy.
Well, what's your strategy for pitting? Pit stops, 1 stop, 2 stop. What do you think there?
As long as I keep the tires under it, I'm just going to make 1 stop.
All right. Well, where you expect to finish?
10th or better.
All right. Well, thank you for talking to us, man. Any sponsors you want to mention?
We're good with Loose Lugnuts. Glad to be here, and obviously a Bruzy Racewear. Just taking care of what's going on this week, getting ready for the season to come together, and we're looking forward to some great racing in the next few months, and just excited about it, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, good luck to you here tonight, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
All right, and that was Judd Danielson, folks, and that'll wrap us up for pre-race interview. Actually, you know what? We'll get one more as they're heading to the grid. We'll get Justin Michael up here. Justin Michael, have you got a copy on us?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Well, you are consistently one of the fastest drivers most of the time, racing with Scott Patton for the race win. A little bit towards the back of the charts here tonight for drivers that have posted time in qualifying. Well, what do you expect here for the race?
I just hope I finish.
You're not a fan of the road course, I take it then.
I'm not a road course guy, so I've wrecked out of I think the past however many road course races we've had. So as long as we finish, I guess I'll be happy. But yeah, I ain't got nothing for Scott, so I don't know where he got that kind of speed from, but good for him.
All right. Well, how's the car handling tonight? I take it not well, but how bad is it, I should ask?
I mean, the longer it goes, the looser it gets, because you're just burning up your rear tires. So I don't know. I think the most I did was like 5 laps, and it was handling pretty bad off some of those turns. So I can only see it getting worse.
All right. Well, any sponsors you want to mention, make your night a little bit better, maybe?
Just everybody out there watching. Hopefully we put on a good show, and good win, Scott.
Well, hey, I tell you what, if you wind up putting that car on the fence, join us up in the broadcast. I say join us, join me up in the broadcast booth. I'm solo tonight here. Jeff's having some internet problems as a result of that storm. So if you want to join up in here, more than welcome.
We'll see what happens.
Well, good luck to you. Nonetheless, hope you have a good run. And what channel do I drop you back down into? Usually Jeff's the one that handles all this. All right, Bandit Motorsports. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gotta find where that is. That's somewhere on there. There it is. Alright, so we're getting ready to go racing. You can see how not good I am at operating that TeamSpeak thing, because usually Jeff's the one that's pulling everyone up for driver interviews. I don't know what channel these guys all go to. I remember what it was like 2 years ago when I did all that, and now everyone's different teams, and teams change names and everything like that. So I look at it, I'm like, I don't remember you being in that team or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes tonight. Take your bets on whether or not I put a driver in the wrong TeamSpeak channel, and let's see how that goes. Anyway, getting ready to go green here tonight. It'll be Scott Patton leading us to the green. As you can see, is a pretty good handle on who everyone thinks is going to win this race. But we got 30 laps to decide that, and we'll figure out who wins this race. Scott Patton, probably going to win it, though. I would not be surprised to see that 921 go to victory lane. He's been fast everywhere. Why not be fast on the road course, too? You get every credit in if you win on the road course. Not everyone took the green. Hermie Sadlers, Gene Rogers, Mitch Reeves, Mike McMillan, Trent Drum, Cleaver, and Gene Duda did not take a green flag here tonight. Did not take the grid tonight. So we'll have probably about 10, maybe 12 cars green flag here tonight. Well, pace car down, and here we go, getting ready for the first time here tonight from the newly improved Daytona road course. There it is. We're racing 30 laps of action, and yeah, about 10 drivers on field. So a bit of a small field as they roll down through 1 and 2. And wow, Scott Patton really ran it wide there, folks. That is not how you want to start a race on a road course. It is imperative on a track like this to have a good start. And Scott Patton did the exact opposite, lost 2 positions. Everyone else stayed pretty much consistent through turn 1. Now down the back straightaway, or the I should say long straightaway, really, coming into that little tight 90-degree right-hander. And Scott Patton now going to have to work his way forward in the field instead of trying to pull away. Kyle Chadwick. You know, Chadwick was saying you don't think he's going to have a shot to win this race. Well, Scott's going to be behind 2 drivers, counting Schulte. So that might really actually help Kyle Chadwick in this race tonight. Ted Wade 4th and Greg Mall 5th. Wade qualified pretty well too. Fell back to 4th place. But Kyle Chadwick, the man out in front, as they head into that bus stop. Andrew Schulte looks to want to set up a pass, but he ain't going to do it. Not yet anyway. Remember, they will at least run a 1-stop race here. So this will be kind of almost like an F1 race in the sense, but a little bit shorter on the lap count. Chadwick with the speed, though, through 1 and 2, or through the bus stop, I should say. Now, this is going to be the really interesting corner. This very tight chicane. Drivers are going to have to remember it's here. Chadwick got in pretty well, and you saw Justin Michael just blew past the chicane. Wesley Holland spun out. Justin Michael blew through the chicane, had to come to a complete stop. He'll lose a very large amount of ground doing that. All the way back to 8th place now. Wes Holland will get a replay on his spin as to what happened to him in that BBK racing machine. Looked like he got into the chicane at least, and oh no, he locked it up and spun out. All by himself too. And then Michael didn't even, he didn't even attempt. He knew he was going to miss it and just accepted what was going to happen. Carl Rourke, back of the field. He came into the chicane, got through it pretty well. Might even get by Wesley Holland now as a result. Well, Scott Patton making ground already past Chadwick, and now Andrew Schulte is your new race leader, and you have the 2nd place driver of Scott Patton trying to get his way up into the race lead. We're 2 laps into this race, mind you, so a long way to go here tonight. They're lapping about 2-minute laps. So this will be about an hour-long event from flag to flag, counting the pit stop. So lapping, it'll be about an hour long. We'll be here. So these guys have got some ways to go, so I would not count your winner just yet. But if Scott Patton can set sail and get by Schulte, he'll be in a bit of a better place. But he looks like he had a bad corner coming out of that bus stop. Actually lost ground on Andrew Schulte. And going through that final chicane there, looks like Ted Wade having a bit of issue. No one spins out, though. And Scott Patton, you look at that, he lost ground. And again, watching the chicane. Watch here. We're going to watch a replay, folks. Going into this chicane, you see how close they are. And Schulte locks up. Patton was in a spot to make a pass, couldn't do it, though, and Schulte pulls away just a little bit, pulling out of the chicane there. So that's keeping Scott Patton in second for the moment, and really that's exactly what Andrew Schulte wants, because he knows Patton's probably faster, and here's the pass that'll potentially happen. This could potentially be, I don't want to say the pass for the win so early on tonight, but it could have a big factor on it. Going into this very tight corner, it's still going to be Andrew Schulte leading, not by much, and Ted Wade knocking on the back door of Scott Patton. So we have a three-way potential race for this lead here at the moment, folks. Right now into the bus stop here, and it is still Andrew Schulte. Kyle Chadwick, he's gaining, I don't want to say losing ground, but he's not gaining it either. He's staying about consistent. But the amazing thing here right now is Scott Patton is not leading this race, and he's not gaining a lot of ground in doing it. Down into the tight chicane. I keep wanting to call it another bus stop. It acts like when you see Schulte with a really bad exit there, and that'll let Scott Patton finally get the lead back. So right now, pretty good run there for Scott Patton, taking advantage of a situation, and that'll put him in the race lead. Now he's got to try and capitalize on this if he can. He got a really bad corner there, and that puts Schulte right in the grounds to capitalize on that a pretty good amount. They're close together here, these three drivers. Andrew Schulte gets loose out of that corner, though. That'll split him up just a little bit, but not too bad. Into the bus stop here, Andrew Schulte trying to set up into a pass. And Andrew Schulte there had a bad run through the bus stop and lost quite a good bit of ground now. And it is going to be Scott Patton and Ted Wade going to be battling it out for the race lead. Kind of the two fastest drivers we saw in qualifying. So not too surprising to see them, the two fastest drivers on track at the moment. Schulte looks like he's falling back, actually. Greg Mall, Kyle Chadwick wanting to pick them off. Justin Michaels 7th. Wesley Holland. And we got a spinner. That is Judd Danielson. At least I think it was Judd. Yeah, it was. So Danielson goes around. Still not last place. That would go to Carl Rourke, but Judd's got a lot of damage on the front of that car. He's going to have to probably bring that down pit road, let that get fixed, unless he just kind of wants to push it and see what happens to that 85 machine, but it is not looking good with no hood. I imagine engine damage is a factor. So he's going to have to try and stay in front of that 937 car O'Rourke. But Scott Patton and Ted Wade are going to be the two drivers battling for the lead. Schultz has got a lot of ground to make up here if he wants to be a factor in this one still. Right now, Scott Patton just pulling away. That's exactly what he wants to do. Took him a little while to get to the race lead. So with Scott Patton now the new race leader, the question is how well is he going to set sail? Is he going to pull away by an extreme amount? Already at a 2-second differential, he's doing pretty well for himself. Judd Danielson now, we're going to watch him, see if he comes down pit road. I'd venture to say maybe, but I'm not entirely certain. And Judd looks like he's going to come to a stop there, overshooting that corner. And yeah, not a good night so far for Judd Danielson, starting to fall back. I would imagine, you know, pits, but he's going to lose a lot of time on pit road, so just try and limp that car around until we get that first pit stop. Meanwhile, Ted Wade, second place, Andrew Schulte, third. Fourth is Chadwick. Greg Mall fell back to fifth. Sixth is, we said, Justin Michael, Wesley Holland, and Wally Tierheimer in eighth. Chadwick, though, pulling away on Greg Mall. Justin Michael trying to catch up to him. We'll ride on board with Justin Michael here for about half a lap, let's say. Rest of this lap. Good run into the bus stop here. A little bit wide out, but not a terrible run through. Coming back up to full racing speed here through 3 and 4. We'll go on board with Andrew Schulte going through this final chicane. Now down into road course 1 and 2. You see Schulte's got a fast car. Just had a very bad corner there, and that's really going to hurt him as far as speed the rest of the night, because you're not going to get a caution in this race. This race does not have cautions, and that's where the problem is going to be for him. So he can't really gain ground back. So he's just going to kind of have to sit and work with what he's been given at the moment, which unfortunately isn't good. So he'll try and hold on for that podium spot. Kyle Chadwick naturally going to probably try and challenge for that. And we're on board with Chadwick. You see Schulte not too far off in the distance. So there is definitely a challenge there. There's definitely going to be a challenge there for position in a little bit, potentially. And there goes Schulte spinning through the bus stop, so there's your challenge for position, and it won't be much of a challenge as Andrew Schulte tries to get that car back up to speed, loses 2 positions. He'll have to challenge with Greg Mall to even get the spot back, potentially. So just a terrible night. A good night gone even worse for Andrew Schulte. The good thing, though, for Greg Mall is he's going to get closer to Kyle Chadwick now, trying to get that spot back. And you saw Schulte overshoot a little bit in that chicane because he's just trying to drive it in deep and make a pass. That just ain't going to work. It's not a good situation for Andrew Schulte to be in, because now he's going to be kind of in that mentality of just wanting to push that car and push harder to get a spot, and really you just can't really do that. Wesley Holland saying in the chat, this track seems tricky. Well, yeah, it definitely is a very tricky racetrack. On top of that, you added a slightly new configuration with that final chicane right before you come to the start-finish line. So you already have a pretty difficult road course to run, and you add in a new element that these guys had about a day to practice on, and that's been it. So it's definitely a hard one to run. Really suiting Scott Patton, though, about a 5-second lead at the moment. Right now, just continuing to pull away. Pulls away to almost about 6 seconds here between these race cars, and that is absolutely impressive. There's Greg Mall gets by Kyle Chadwick. This will be for the podium position at the moment, and it'll go to that 906 team. Great run for Greg Mall here. We haven't really seen Greg up on the podium in a while, so just nice to see him getting to the front here tonight. Hopefully maybe a second place finish, but that's about an 18-second differential, and that's going to be hard to close, even on pit road. That'll almost be, well, won't quite be a free pit stop. You'll need about a 40-second gap for that. Because you figure 13-second pit stop and about another 10 or so on pit road. And more than that, maybe another 30, 15, 20 or so on pit road going down, coming off. So you're going to need a quite big differential to have that free stop. So Scott Patton and Ted Wade, they will swap out the race lead, and that's where a strategy to win, depending on how Ted Wade runs it, might be. So right now, 10 laps in. Next time by, 20 laps to go. And it should be a pretty interesting run. So Scott Patton just working this road course. Sorry I'm not saying too much, folks, but these guys, they are very, very spread out at the moment. And you know, it's more just a race of right now watching the chips fall where they may, strategically, of course. And it's definitely an interesting race to watch, though. So Scott Patton, though, at the moment, your current race leader, looking to go to victory lane here tonight as he'll make his first stop, coming in on 20 laps to go this time by. So really interesting to see him pitting right now. I would think they would have tried to push it more, because if they can only go 10 laps on, well, he said he's going to try and go on a one-stop. They said they're all trying to do a one-stop race. So if you only go 20 laps, or 10 laps, that's a really interesting strategy that Scott Patton's going with. What do you folks in the chat make of it? I mean, it's definitely an interesting situation there. So with Scott Patton making that stop, he fell back to 4th. Not too big of a difference, but Ted Wade kind of at a spot right now where he might be able to make a free pit stop. He's got a 2-minute differential time-wise, or 140-second gap. That should be enough to make a free pit stop and still hold on to the race lead. So if I was Wade, I wouldn't necessarily shoot the idea down of going down pit road if you've got a gap that big. And watch him go through the chicane. And he blows the chicane. But he's going to come down pit road anyway. And it looks like the gap difference was a bit off. You can see Chadwick going through the chicane now, so that won't be enough for a free pit stop for Ted Wade there. As Wade will be getting to his box as Chadwick's getting to the line. And there's the spot, there's the pass for the lead. And Ted Wade will probably come out around 3rd place. Yeah, right around 3rd. So he'll hold off maybe Wes Holland. And that's what it looks like. He'll stay in front of Wes, but he won't stay in front of Chadwick, like I initially thought. Right now, Chadwick going to be an interesting situation as to what he wants to do with the battle for the race lead as Patton gains it back pretty quickly. So 18 more laps to go this time. Scott Patton just kind of has to set sail and go to victory lane. Only not a big differential between him and, you know, you're going to have your race leader, but you're going to have Ted Wade, who just pitted on fresh tires, really trying to get by Kyle Chadwick here, and I definitely think he will. Be no doubt about it if he does. or no doubt about it, he definitely will. It'll just be a matter of when, you know? You can see he's getting real close to him through this really tight right-hander here, and he'll go on the inside. Driver's right. There's your pass. So new second-place driver, Kyle Chadwick. Race leader will stay consistent. Or new second-place driver, Ted Wade. Kyle Chadwick bumped down to third on the podium right there. So 17 laps to go this time by. And if they're going to go to the end here, they've got to go a lot further. Almost another run longer than what they did on their first set of tires. So, you know, I'm interested to see there as to what the strategy's going to be as far as that goes, as to why they pitted so early when a lot of these guys said they wanted to do that one-stop race. I guess, as they say, well, we'll have to just wait and see as to what happens. At the moment, it looks like Scott Patton, though, still en route to winning the race. I'm not surprised by that. Like I said, I didn't want to say Patton had the pass for the lead earlier when he first got it, but it is definitely looking like he's gonna get it there. So right now, 16 to go at the stripe. So with 16 laps to go, the question is, who do you guys think is going to win the race? Leave your vote in the chat. I think it's kind of obvious, but you never know what's going to happen here at Daytona. Anything can happen. Justin Michael in 5th, Justin Michael 6th, Holland, and then Greg Mull finally making his pit stops. It's got a lot of damage to the front of that car, and that is a shame. He was running so well earlier. He was on track to potentially win, get a podium finish, I should say. So with just 15 laps to go this time around, it should be quite interesting to see here. So with 15 now laps to go, count them on 15 fingers. Scott Patton looking more and more likely to win the race. First driver set a lap down, or second driver set a lap down. Carl Rourke, Judd Danielson is 2 down. Wally Tierheimer in a pretty tight battle with Andrew Schulte now. This will be for 7th. If he can make the pass, of course. This will be for the 7th spot. Coming down into the very tight corner that leads back onto Speedway 1 and 2. Tierheimer, I think, is a bit quicker, but you're not entirely sure. Right now, 14 laps to go, and it looks like Schulte gonna hold on in front of Wally Tierheimer. Not by much, though. I think Tierheimer's a bit quicker in the main road course section, and Schulte's definitely a little bit faster on, you know, the super speedway portion of the track. You watch, Tierheimer's gonna gain a lot of ground here. Almost enough to pass him if he plays his cards right through the main section of the road course. And that's a pretty big almost, though, unfortunately. "13 laps to go at the stripe." Close battle here. Tierheimer getting within striking distance now of Schulte. He's been within it. You know what? If Schulte kind of has an issue in that final, again, there we go saying bus stop in that final chicane, that might let Tierheimer strike. They're within about about a second of each other, not much more. And we've seen Schulte under pressure. We've seen what happens, and it doesn't always go well for the driver of that 11 car. And there you go. Not a bad entrance, but a bad exit. But it looks like no harm, no foul there. Andrew Schulte having issues. He'll spin out. Is he gonna hold on? Is he gonna hold the drift? Yes, he is. But he'll lose the spot. I mean, that's an impressive save, folks. Call it any way you like. Let's get a replay on that. Got loose, got the grass, drifts it through the corner. I don't care if he lost the spot. That's the save of the night. That might be the moment of the night. Absolutely amazing right there. Now Schulte's going to have to work and gain his position back, though. That's going to be the hard thing to do for him, as he's going to be down about a second and a half, unfortunately. Now it'll be a battle for position. Wally Tierheimer having a very bad final chicane. Gonna have to make that car like 3 lanes wide, and he does. Trying to hold on to that spot. That'll, again, be 7th place at the moment. So Tierheimer now going to have to do everything he can to hold on to that spot, and Schulte is the faster driver, even drifting it. He was about a second quicker. Right now, going to be just a tight battle for position here. Going through this bus stop, we've seen both of these drivers have their share of issue. Both of them get through it clean. Carl Rourke, that's a lap down car. Going to play a factor in all this now as well. And Andrew Schulte blows through. The first tight, I keep calling that the bus stop. I'm going to start calling that the second bus stop. Looks like he had an issue, though. Tags the outside wall. What happened here? Did he have a tire go down? No. Car just went high for him into the wall and causes him to miss the bus stop. That's going to be a lot of damage. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up too well with Wally anymore. Meanwhile, Greg Mall, Kyle Chadwick, this will be a battle for 4th, not a podium position, but still a pretty good battle either way. So right now, 10 to go at the stripe, and here's a battle for position. And this is going to be pretty interesting there. Chadwick got it before the bus stop, the second bus stop there. So not even going to be a factor in that corner. Chadwick gets through it easily, as does Greg Mall. Right now, 10 to go, 9 at the stripe, and Scott Patton makes his second stop of the night, but he was within enough distance of Ted Wade, had a big enough gap to make a free pit stop, in that he didn't lose any position. So, folks, if you're wondering what a free pit stop was, that means, you know, you can pit, not lose any ground, and, you know, hold your position. So he was able to make a free pit stop on Ted Wade, put fresh tires on the car, and he'll have fresh tires to the end. Ted Wade, I don't think is in grounds. Well, Justin Michael is pitting, it looks like. That car's on pit road. He's been in for about 10 seconds. So that'll give Ted Wade the room to make a free pit stop on Kyle Chadwick, as Chadwick gains third. But then Ted Wade loses a lot of ground on Scott Patton, but of course he's not going to gain the lead anyway because he doesn't have the tires to do so. So Ted Wade can hold on to second and finish second tonight, and he gets, you know, he gets a free pit stop. The only driver that really doesn't is Kyle Chadwick. If Chadwick wants to hold on to the podium, he can't pit unless Greg Mall pits. And even then, Justin Michael made his second stop, and Michael will get by the both of them. So Chadwick is in a spot where he has to stay out. He doesn't have a free pit stop, but Ted Wade definitely does. So if I was Ted Wade, I'd take the free stop, and I'd hold on to second place with no questions asked. As I don't know what he'll do, but we'll see. We'll see what he does after he goes through this corner. He's within 5 seconds of Scott Patton, but that gap's going to get a whole lot bigger in the next 9 laps. Looks like he won't take the free stop. And he'll have that ground because they're on the same set of tires. So he'll have that ground pretty much for the rest of the race if he wants to take a free stop and go for fastest lap or something like that. He'll definitely have the grounds to do so. Meanwhile, Greg Mall in fourth. Just trying to make something happen here. Potentially a podium finish. He doesn't have a free stop. He'll lose too much ground on pretty much everyone. But Ted Wade, if he wants to take advantage of that, I would. Because you're only going to keep losing ground on Scott Patton. You're not going to make ground up, unfortunately, in the condition his car is. Right now, 8 laps to go. We got Jeff Wood out in the chat saying still has to wait to Sunday for an internet technician. Man, Jeff, I feel bad for you there. That's got to be rough not having internet, or a computer internet, I should say, for that long. I'd be bound, bang my head against the wall at that point. Gotta love the cable companies. They come for your money. You have to give it to them because of protected territories, because you can't get another one. Or is that just a Northeast thing with the protected territories? I don't know. And then on top of that, when you need their help, they're never there for you because they've got your money anyway. It's a beautiful thing. They have beautiful setup, really. Anyway, looks like Ted Wade will take that free pit stop on Kyle Chadwick. And like I said, once he comes out, we'll expect to see him still in second place, albeit a closer gap to Chadwick. Kind of like with Scott Patton, where it's maybe a 1 or 2 second gap. But provided he doesn't have any penalties or anything, this should be a free pit stop. Well, he's in pit lane. I'm just watching to see what happens here, out and away. And Kyle Chadwick, yeah, not even onto Nat. So it'll be an even bigger gap than Scott Patton had. Oh, man! Just talking about providing nothing goes wrong and he hits the pit wall coming out of pit road. He'll still have quite a big gap, about 37 seconds. But still, oh man, everything's gone disastrously wrong for Ted Wade. Spins out there as well. So that's a disastrous situation for Ted Wade at the moment. As he'll still hold on to second. Not by much, by a decent enough margin, I guess. Chadwick, Justin, Michael. This will be the battle for the podium. There'll be 6 laps to go at the start-finish line, and here's your battle for the podium. It'll be going into this corner, and who's gonna break last? They both lock up, but Justin Michael gets the spot. So Scott Patton and Kyle Chadwick spins out hard into that inside wall, so he'll lose a lot of ground there. Six laps to go here. Scott Patton looking to go to victory lane. Kyle Chadwick looking to just hang on for that car's dear life. And Ted Wade looking to go to second. Five more laps to go, folks, at the start-finish line, and Scott Patton will go straight on to victory lane. He's had pretty much a lead all night long. Justin Michael will wind up on the podium. Ted Wade will hold on to second, it looks like. So 4 more times around at the stripe, and Scott Patton just having a great run. I mean, he's had a brilliant run here tonight. We'll tell you how many laps he's led in about a second. It's probably been most of them. led 22 so far on the night, which is just a great night for any driver, and particularly for Scott Patton as well. Four more times around for Scott Patton if he makes it through the final bus stop. Right now, 4 to go, and everyone spread out pretty sufficiently at the moment. We got a semi-close battle. Greg Mall, Justin Michael. This will be a battle for a podium if Michaels can catch him. Looks like he slipped back. So Justin Michael trying to gain his ground. And we know Greg's got issues with speed on that race car. Not the fastest car due to the damage. But hey, if he can hang on, it's going to be a tall order. As you see Justin starting to close in, but it's not entirely impossible for Greg to hold him off there. Greg Mall again slower on the big parts of the speedway. So this is where you'll see Justin Michael gain a lot of his ground here. Into the final bus stop chicane. 3 more, count 'em, laps to go. Scott Patton coming to 2 to go at the stripe. And like I said, it's been about an hour for this race. Scott Patton not too far away from going to victory lane. Greg Mall, Ted Wade still battling, or Greg Mall and Justin Michael still battling it out. Justin Michael within striking distance of potentially getting that podium spot back. Right now, close battle here. 2 laps to go. Greg Mall has to pit, it looks like. So that'll let Justin Michael gain that podium position, and he'll finish there, as he's already had 2 stops. Final lap of the race, coming to the start-finish line. So right now, final lap of the race with Scott Patton coming around back onto Speedway 1 and 2 this time. For the last time, he'll lead 27 laps on the night en route to his victory. Right now, coming to the final lap, coming to this checkered flag here. And Scott Patton has a great run through that bus stop for the last time. And, of course, goes to victory lane here. Race winner, Scott Patton. Second place, Ted Wade. Justin Michael, third. There's the results at the top of your screen. And we'll get up with our interviews now. And we'll start from the back and go to the top. Hey, we got a guest in the chat here. Look who's here, Jeff Wood. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
All right, just on TeamSpeak.
Well, you missed the start of the race by about 30 laps.
Nah,
I know.
it's all right.
I know you got the internet issues. Hopefully you get that resolved soon, though, man. I mean,
yeah, I should be back live for our finale for the Cup Series on Sunday with Max Speed. And so hopefully that's when the technician is supposed to be here, but
You hear me
I'm-
up in the booth. I sound like a flopping fish by myself.
yeah, it gets rough up here.
You sure heard me in the beginning. I'm like, what room do these drivers go into? Jeff's the one that usually handles all these interviews. I don't know what to do there.
Oh yeah.
But no. You know what? I like doing it with two people. Doing it solo is always, when you get a race like this where these guys get spread out, it always drags.
Yeah, and learning new corner names, and especially that chicane, from what I hear, was a little bit problematic.
Oh,
tonight.
no doubt. I'm just calling it the second bus stop is what I'm going with, because it runs like one. It definitely runs like one. But yeah, no, I don't think I did too horrible, though. I guess we'll let the viewers decide that one if they come back next week. And that'll be the final say. Anyway, I'll let you get back down with your group, and I'll go on with the driver interviews. But good to see you on, and hopefully get everything squared away on Sunday.
All right, Matt. Well, thank you.
All right, and yeah, let's get in with those driver interviews. Unfortunately, Scott Patton isn't here, but Ted Wade is. So we'll talk to Ted Wade, second place. Ted, have you got a copy on us? Ted Wade, are you there? Paging 916. Okay, no copy from Ted Wade, unfortunately. So we'll go to third. We'll go to Justin Michael. I know he's here because I know we talked to him earlier. So on that note, Justin Michael.